Okay, I'm back in Notepad because I finally figured out the two things that you need to know to use or appreciate this editor. It is actually comes highly recommended by Mr. Marco, and the things that those of us who deal with any type of data need to deal with, if nothing else, is carriage return line feeds and column data, especially when you're dealing with multi-column data, for instance, northing eastings elevations or pressures or whatever the case might be. So, learning and owning and getting to really appreciate one flat ASCII editor like Notepad++ would seem to be a good idea. So let me show you first the search and replace function. If you're trying to get carriage return line feeds, it's /r/n. And so if you're trying to put double spaces, more or less, it's \r/n. So I'll do \r/n, 2\r/n/n. And I will do, still got one extra one there. I will do replace all, and you see what it does. So, carriage return line feed is \r/n. The other thing one needs to know how to do is how to do column editing. And that one is you grab the start of your column, you held down the Alt key and you pull down, and that gives you that ability to go and do things like cut that out and take care of that data. Don't want to do that though, so I'm going to go Edit, File, Close, and I do not want to save what I did. So Notepad deals quite nicely with all kinds of different programs. Let's see whether it does deal with Lisp, and it does deal with Ruby quite nicely, and I think it deals with as well Python and Perl. So you'll see MATLAB, Java, C++, COBOL. In other words, a whole, we'll try one last one, HTML, I'm sure it deals with. All right, so Notepad++ then becomes the editor of choice because it is free. And it has a great ability to work in a number of different programs. And to review, the reasons we are out there doing it is so we can take advantage of this search, replace the \r/n with something like \r/n, replace all, and it adds all these extra spaces if they were there. That didn't seem to work so great, but we'll move on. And remember that the column editor looks like this. We're going to start pulling down and hold the Alt key when we do it. It's not liking it so much. I think it's lost the keyboard, but there you go. That column mode is the other thing you've got to do. So that said, you can look a little bit of Ruby code before I finish out here. Small things like @ being a certain type of variable, $sign being a global variable, @ being another type of variable. Things like SketchUp with the double colon being a certain type of class or something like that within SketchUp. Points, if you see a lot of things that are there as point data, is a list of 3 things. If statements, declaration of vectors, which can also just be regular lists, adding lines, adding arcs, lots of different stuff here. It looks very difficult to look at to start, but the most simple things are actually pretty easy to do and quickly manage. This will act in conjunction, I would presume, with what we've got on the campus computers in the form of Web Console and SketchUp 8. So there's a lot of power of play here, because once you really get involved in the basic mathematics of physics and understand parametric equations, especially if you already understand the unit circle and transformation matrices, you can truly prepare yourself for functioning quite nicely in the world where you slap a chip into a um, earth mover and it semi drives itself. I won't say it drives itself. So, thanks for listening. That was Notepad. And I'll think we'll stop and print this and connect up with a couple others. That's all the tools you need for now. SketchUp, Notepad, Sketchy Physics 3.2, and Web Console, and then start figuring out all the other Rubies that exist. Thanks for listening.